How old is Jim? He's 90.
Hey, sir, how are you?
You guys had a long wait for that.
Yeah, it's what they wait on. Supposed to hit the gavel 6 o'clock, Bertha.
Oh, Kelly was running late. He was yakking. Go down there and get on it.
I was in Dell's office, man, it's just talking all that.
I'd like one there for. I'd like one there for Randy.
Sounds good.
I'm peachy. What about you?
That's good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Randy, what's going on? Been camping home?
No, he pulled it up over here. I've been landscaping, throwing.
I've only been voting twice as if I come today.
Keep looking at it, need to get it out.
It's raining, maybe they go with you. Yeah, I've been just too partial. We went to cruising Saturday evening. Hey, boys,
How are you? Good. How's your weekend?
See what I got going on. I don't know if I'd rather be Chevy over there.
How about you?
Good. I asked Jamie how her weekend was today. She said it was long, so that's a first. Yeah.
They're all gonna be long.
Well, I get a call down there, I gotta go to Stillman training.
You wanna sign it?
I ain't voted yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's on order. There you go.
Tony?
What'd you do with the other one? Did you keep it? Tyler, did you keep the other one?
I put it on here. Put it over there.
She's
Inhaling a lot of smoke.
she quit or what? I didn't know you smoked. You was out second hand, didn't you?
How many pizzas you end up serving? Board of Works up here?
Remind me.
Been on the one in London, that's
We'll start selling them for $1. Huh? We'll start selling them for $1.
All right, we'll call to order. Sorry we're late. Executive session went a little longer. Call to order the Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for July 18, 2016. Could I get a roll call, please?
Member Paul Seymour Jr.
Here.
Member Alan Calloway.
Here.
Police Chief Don Combs.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
All right, any announcements? You guys got anything? All right, then I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion.
Second? Second. For say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports, Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
I just got a couple of things. If the board didn't know, retired firefighter Bruce Dell passed away last week. He's also with EMS for over 20 years, so we took care of him with his visitation. Also, we completed our hose testing last week. Yes, they run together. We did lose 2 sections of 1-inch forestry line. I just want the board's permission to get rid of it. I'll cut the couplings off and throw it away. That's all I have.
You need permission? Need a motion?
Yeah, just your blessing on that.
Like to make a motion that we follow Johnny's lead there.
All right, need a second. That's a dispose of, right?
Yeah, we'll take it off inventory.
Okay. All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Police Chief Donnie Combs.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items. The week before last, on the weekend, our part-time clerk had done their first weekend, and not so good news. She don't think she can handle this job.
Okay.
Either the hours or the time or what have you is going to be. So we came to a mutual agreement pretty much, and she didn't want to continue. So, and, you know, I told her that was fine, it's not for everybody, she got her feet wet a little bit, it's just not for everybody. So, we understand that. So what we want to do is just move forward. We want to stay within the pool and go to the next person that was in line for that. And just like to have the board's approval to,
So you just want to hire the person that would have been up, or that interviewed through that same pool of people?
same process.
Okay.
yes.
I want to make a motion that we give him the opportunity to hire the person that he feels is best qualified.
All right, second?
I second.
And all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Anything else, Don?
Yes, one other thing, our old K9 newbie that Jacob Jump had, he's since retired, because we've got Abram now with him, and he's just taking care of Newbie, and Newbie is failing a little bit. He's got a lot of health problems. And I want to propose tonight to the board, and I'll pass this along to council as well, if need be, if we could release the dog to Jacob himself instead of the city, have him take responsibilities. You know, Jacob can get these things done. If not, then we would have to put the dog down and be the city responsibility. But if we release Newbie to Jacob, then he can take care of it. So I would ask the board approval to release Newbie to Jacob, and I'll pass this along to council.
Just want to pass on the recommendation to council, favorable recommendation to council.
Yeah.
To release Newbie to Jacob? Okay. And release him from the city's
Care.
role, I guess, care. Motion?
Have a motion.
All right, second?
I second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Donnie. EMS Director Bobby Mills?
Well, Mayor, the only thing I have tonight is our run totals for the month of June, and we had 157 calls.
Okay,
That's all I have.
all right. Any new business, guys?
I got something I'd like to bring up, Kelly.
Sure.
Like a request, I don't know how we do it. I would like to request a meeting with the union. And I don't know whether it is a Board of Works matter or Board of Works and Council.
Okay.
But I would like to request that of those union reps for you want to say the purpose of?
Just don't use any names, but if it's for personnel? Or?
It would be a restructuring,
Okay.
and that's what I would like to call it.
Okay. All right, I think we should include council as well, but, okay.
And then
You talking about with the BAs, with the business agents,
it would be with, yeah, the business agents.
okay,
And we might not need to do it. I want to make sure that I interpret the contract right, but I think it's something they should be talked to about with it too.
okay. That's better to keep everybody in the loop.
Okay. And I also have a small issue with the pool that I think we can get worked out. I don't know when the agreement was made. I got a feeling it was when the hotel was completed or shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they used to send a bill, or the clerk treasurer used to bill. I had 2 calls. We're not doing what we used to do, and what I want to know is I don't feel like that the casino or the hotel's real happy right now, and I want to, hey, they're our golden goose, and I've been part of this struggle for 3 years of trying to get these relationships around town to where we're all smiling at each other, And I want to know how come something little and petty like this is got people aggravated, where I think that, why are we changing it? All I want to know is why we're changing it.
I didn't know this changed either. I got a call from Ken Schwam.
Me too.
Oh, okay. Up at the event, and he just, over the weekend, actually, he called me and wanted to know if we've changed the process for, it used to be they would give their patrons a pass,
Right.
get into the pool, the pass would be taken, and then the clerk to the clerk treasurer's office, I guess.
We didn't know it had changed either.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'd like to say something here.
Yes.
My wife is the manager of the pool, and they did come to her about this, to do the same as last year, and she went to the clerk treasurer, and the clerk treasurer changed this process.
I did send an email to change that.
So I don't want the blame put on my wife here, the clerk treasurer.
No, I don't think anybody's putting the blame on her.
Said they didn't know anything about it.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know anything.
I'm sorry, I thought maybe you were addressing it to me. I didn't know anything about it.
Well, and if that's the case, then Tyler, can you explain it to us?
Yeah, I simply responded to the email I got from the event center and told them that I felt that they should have to pay like everybody else, that they shouldn't be able to use a pass to pay for the pool, and then the city has to come back and get that money from the hotel. I just thought that was something that we should change, and that was my decision.
Okay. That's, I got a problem with that.
Okay.
I hope we're all gonna work as a team here, and I know you've lived here long enough to know where all our money comes from, and probably every bit of the money that put that pool in.
Right.
Every bit of the money that's paying a lot of good salaries around town. Without that casino and without that hotel over there, if we didn't have that income for that little bit of work and that little thing, I look at that as being a big mistake after what we've been through the last 3 years and what we got looking at us here patching relationships. I take offense to that.
I can email her back and let them know that they can do that. That's fine.
Take care of it.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
no problem.
Good. You relay that to your wife as well? Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Under old business?
Your Honor,
Yes.
under old business.
Yes.
Yeah, I brought up last meeting regards to the concrete work, the sidewalks that you probably see all painted in orange. I'd like to see if the board would like for us to go out and get some quotes for repairs. Right now, we're up to probably 25 different walkways that need replaced.
Different sections of?
Correct.
I would like to see it get done sooner than later, that's for sure. Can it still be got done this, before the
Correct, for bad weather.
fall
too.
and
Sure.
winter?
You can bring, as far as I'm concerned, you can bring prices to me anytime. You know I want to see them.
All right,
I'm good with it.
yeah,
Turn them in.
okay. Thanks, Mario. All right, any other old business? Okay, I just need a motion to approve the claims. Second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Utility Board, as soon as we get seated. All right, we all seated, okay. I'd like to call to order the Lawrenceburg Utility Board for July 18th, 2016. Can I get a roll call, please?
Member Tony Abbott,
Here.
member Aaron Cook,
Here.
member Mel Davis,
Here.
member Randy Abner,
Here.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.,
Here.
City Attorney Dale Weldon,
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen,
Present.
President Kelly Malone,
Here.
and myself.
All right, any announcements?
No, Your Honor, I've covered under committee reports.
All right, I need a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports.
Thank you, Your Honor. We've had quite a bit going on in the utilities. In the way of announcements, if anybody's been up on High Street and noticed all the activity down in the old Lotus site, that is the site of this fall's IMEA, Indiana Municipal Electric Association's Lineman's Rodeo. We're anticipating a few dozen teams from all across the nation, Arizona. We just got an inquiry from Illinois, got one coming from Florida, and maybe from Kentucky. So we're going to have a lot of people here in town. All things point to that being an excellent event for the community. We just had a meeting with the rodeo committee people and the school. The school's going to get heavily involved. They're also going to bring some of the older classes to come down that might be looking for a particular career path. And we're going to try to gear some of the educational things that day towards careers and give them more information to kind of to go off of. We're also going to be working with the local Boy Scout troops, helping them get their electric badge. So we're gonna customize some of the training that day, some of the classwork that day to help those young men get that. We're working with the auxiliary groups at the school, the cheerleading gals, the football players, some of the other auxiliaries to do some of let them do some fundraising down there for that day. So everything's coming together. It's turning out, like I said, all things are pointing to that being a wonderful event. In the way of the conference, IMEA has allowed us to dedicate the entire conference and the fundraising theme behind the conference to the Lauren Hill Fight for Cure Foundation. They're going to host a casino night on one of the nights, which will be Thursday night after their big gala event, the dinner. And all proceeds for that will go towards the Lauren Hill Foundation. We're also going to have Channel 12, I think it's Channel 12's Brad Johansson. He'll be the keynote speaker that evening. There is also the potential that at the casino night we will have a couple ex-bingo players there kind of emceeing that event. So we're really excited about all that. We're excited the community has been really active in that. The mayor and his folks have been very supportive in that, as has the other city departments. Thank you, Chief Tremaine, for participating and helping us with that. There will be some road closures that will come up as we get close to that event. We'll talk a little bit more about that just so people understand where those closures will take place. On utility business, we have a couple projects that are going to start. Charlotte Street project is going to start probably next week. So we'll start socking on the asphalt there, getting that prepped for that project which we discussed in here. We also just got notice that Riviera Apartments is in the process of completing all of their build-out. So everything as it comes down and over industrial, the lots that are above industrial there, they're going to start the process of developing those things. And so we have got a contract, a utility contract, kind of back and forth red line addition at this stage, trying to help determine what our funding piece will be, our economic funding piece will be for that. Once that contract's to a point where we think we can approve it, it'll come before this body for final approval. We've had a number of new homes that have begun in Lawrenceburg. I want to say this is our fourth one. We just met with the contractor today for a fourth home, a nice home up on Pribble. So those things are always exciting to see, new additions to the community, new people coming into the community, so that's always nice to see. And with that, I conclude my report.
Okay. Anything else from anyone up here on the utility board? Okay, new business, Olin Clausen, PURPA.
Okay, PURPA, in your file, you'll see an agreement for the acronym is PURPA. It stands for Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act. It's an act that is a federal act that all states, including Indiana, have to comply with. And what that means loosely is that if we have a power plant come into the community, and it is less than 80 megawatts, that Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities by federal law would be required to buy all of its power from that locally generated source, regardless of price, irrespective of price. So if they came in and they generated, and the price was much higher than we're paying now by federal law, we would have to buy a portion of that electrical cells or electrical generation for Lawrenceburg. What PURPA does, what the document in your files does, is it puts IMPA in the position of purchasing all of that power so that Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities doesn't have to. So if there is a power plant that comes in, IMPA would agree on behalf of Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities to purchase all of that power, and through scales of economy, try to get those costs down if they were escalated costs, get those costs down to where it doesn't impact us locally on our economic development rates, if we had those, or just the rates to the customers in general. So I put it in your packet so that you're aware of what it is, and if you had any questions, this would be the time to ask those questions. We can answer those. But with the Utility Service Board's blessing, I will execute that agreement and get that back to IMPA.
Okay. Any questions from anyone up here on the board? You want that in the form of a motion, Olin? Please. Yeah, entertain a motion to give Olin the authority to get this document exercised through IMPA, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I need a motion? Moved. Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Any other new business?
No, sir, that concludes my business.
Any old business?
No, sir.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the claims. Moved. Second? I need a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I call to order the council meeting for City of Lawrenceburg for July 18th, 2016. Getting a roll call, please.
Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Member Aaron Cook.
Here.
Member Mel Davis.
Here.
Member Randy Abner.
Here.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.
Here.
Police Chief Don Combs.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
Mayor Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
All right. Under announcements, Aaron, you got anything for streets, alley, and curbs?
Just one thing. On July 12th, I got a call about a hole in the street at the corner of Cook Lane and West Tate, and there's a pretty big hole, and I called Mario. It was like 7 at night, so he showed up, so I want to thank him for coming out and taking care of that.
So it is taken care of now? And
It is taken care of.
all right. Okay. Anything else, Aaron?
Nope, that was it.
All right. Finance report, Tony Abbott.
They're all in order.
All right, thank you. Fire, Randy Abner.
Okay, we got some information from the fire chief that the state certified rope training class is Thursday. Once that class is done, they're going to start some confined space certification.
Okay. Confined space, Mike taking care of that?
No, this would be a state
Oh,
certification.
the state certification? Okay. All right. Parks, Paul Seymour Jr.
I met with Mario and I would like him to tell you guys about when to expect. I believe you're going to be getting some prices on the playground flooring over around the Little League Park, so.
Correct. Working with the consultant now. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have some firm pricing. It's been delayed now for almost 8 weeks, but she guarantees it's going to be worth the wait, so we'll see.
Yeah.
While we were over there, it's kind of amazing how much the places get used. And I would just, like to emphasize how much we need to take care of things. That's something that's been down now for, what, Mario, you think 15 years?
Right, 15 plus.
So, you know, it's that time, guys. We need to start thinking about taking care of what we got.
Well, and I think we talked about this last time. Mario's getting this, put together a list for each park, and that just, and then every asset we own, but the parks are part of that, so we will have a list to work off of updating all those, which, you're right, needs to be done. So, good, all right. Anything else, Paul?
Well, I thought Main Street did a great job this week. We had a youth fest. It was very well attended. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and it was very well attended.
You ate a lot of pizza.
A lot of pizzas were passed out, and I don't think there was a bad spot in town, so I just want to tell Pat thanks, and I thought it was a really, really good day.
Good. All right. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports, Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Nothing further to report.
All right. Police Chief Don Combs.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let council be aware of what I mentioned to the board of works earlier, but a retired K-9 newbie has held this family, and I would like to have permission to have that dog released to the handler, Jacob Jump, so when his health finally does fail, that he can take care of the business he needs to.
Any questions for Chief on that?
No.
I'd entertain a motion to allow Jacob Jump to take over ownership of Newbie.
So moved. Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Don. Anything else?
Yes, a couple more things. I talked previously about our panic button at the Lawrenceburg High School that's being tested. It was tested within the schools and it worked fine. They were testing today on our radios and they're having some issues with it, so they're still working on that. They're
Okay.
Motorola to get that worked out. I'm sure it's one of just some type of snafu, but it's
Okay.
worked out. So that's moving along. Our self-defense class went real well a couple weeks ago. They had 9 participants. It was a little bit low, but it was good. She was pretty satisfied with that. And our stop stick photos are this week, so that's moving forward. And we're doing that Thursday, I believe.
Good.
And, also coming up is the Lawrenceburg Hill Run Walk Race, August the 20th. And we'll meet this week and get some logistics set. So that's what's happening in town around. So things are moving along.
Okay. Good.
That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Just let council know they have in front of them the run total list.
Okay. All right. New business, Pam Taylor, Arts and Crafts in the Park. This is something new.
The Arts and Crafts in the Park.
How many years now? How many years have been going on?
I was afraid you were going to ask me that, and
Yeah.
I want to say like 4, and it's probably been 8, you know
Who
how that
knows?
goes. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to put a request or two in front of council, Mr. Mayor. I'm here, as he said, representing Phi Beta Psi sorority, who hosts the Arts and Crafts in the Park in September. We've been doing it for a number of years now, and it is in fact our largest fundraiser by far. We make about $6,000 from that. It's a lot of work, a lot of fun, and we enjoy it. I do have 2 requests that have to do with arts and crafts this year. It will be on September 11th, by the way, and that's the Sunday after Labor Day. The first request is that we get permission to put probably 3 or 4 parking signs up along US 50, simple signs with parking and an arrow to direct them to direct people from out of town to where the parking is. Hopefully we'll be able to use the Durbin Plaza parking down there. That's always been great for us. If not, then we're ready to use school parking if we need to do that. So depending on where that parking ends up being, we would want to put just a few little maybe political size signs up to direct people to that parking. So that's the first request. The second one's a little more involved. Historically, I think the city of Lawrenceburg has provided the portalettes that day for the Arts and the Crafts event. And I'm here to request that the city approve providing those portalettes once again this year in September.
That's a crappy request.
Please, please.
That's a crappy request.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay,
Just
now we'll
cute.
move on. But, anybody up here have any questions for Pam?
No.
Any, I mean, we've done that in the past with portalettes and everything, we can make sure that happens, and any issues with signs, I don't see anything.
Maybe one suggestion, Your Honor. I think the police have a information board.
Yeah.
Maybe place that, the electronic board.
Oh, okay.
Donnie, could you help her with that, with your information, your electronic information board that you have?
We
And
can, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we have a board, we can put anything on there you want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
gotta be
appreciate that. That'd be
vetted
great.
first.
Just get a hold of me, Pam.
Okay.
That's more
I will
of
do
that.
that. Thank you.
Okay, we can do that in the form of a motion, just to approve Ms. Taylor's request. I think it's just to use the Newtown Park for arts and crafts in the park. The other requests, I think, we're okay. We get a motion? So moved. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good. Next item under new business be Del Weldon, the amended ordinance for redevelopment funds.
Thank you, Your Honor. You guys have in your packet a proposed ordinance number, and I'll need a number. I should have gotten with Suzanne before. But it's an amendment to a 2013 ordinance, and the 2013 ordinance, which is 29-2013, was actually the ordinance that created the non-reverting redevelopment fund. In that ordinance, as you'll see in section 2, the current ordinance reads, these funds shall be spent when necessary with the approval of city council. What I've tendered is a proposed ordinance amending that. Thank you, Tyler. I'm sorry. I thought you had my number for me. But redacting the language that says with the approval of city council. This amendment has become necessary for a few reasons. One, I was able to do some research and learn that at the time this ordinance was originally promulgated, that language was placed not as a matter of necessity, but it was placed into the ordinance essentially, from my understanding, as a courtesy. I think this was done as a courtesy to city council rather than something that's necessary. A couple of things. One, redevelopment operates as a completely standalone entity. The members are appointed to perform tasks that are delineated by a specific set of ordinances, which is separate and apart from the ordinances that control other operations of the city. And so just by de facto, or by an operation of law, the redevelopment council is its own creation, its own entity. And then and so that the actions that they take for them to then be approved or disapproved by city council would actually prevent them or subvert that operation, which would be counter to the intention of the law. The other thing, as a practical matter, when we have projects that are presented to redevelopment and they're vetted, and the persons who appear before redevelopment make presentations, and redevelopment decides to spend monies one way or the other for those projects, for that spending to then appear before city council as a claim, essentially requires city council to then approve or disapprove spending that they were not a party to that presentation. They weren't there, most of you guys weren't there for that presentation. So it really is untenable the way it's written. Again, I don't think it was foreseen or intended for this to create kind of the issues that it's creating. So I would suggest and recommend that this amendment be approved. The other thing that's important to remember is that you guys do have control over the spending of redevelopment in toto. So you, what I mean by that is that you approve their budget, you approve their annual budget. The spending that this amendment contemplates really is just day-to-day spending that, again, has been vetted through redevelopment. I believe that it's more properly legally, procedurally, and practically for them to approve their own claims, and that's what this amendment would do.
Any questions for?
Well, I myself would like to leave it like it is. I mean, it is courtesy to city council, and I think it should be done. And this is a non-elected board that I've been on for 15 years, so, but I think it should go to city council.
Yeah, how much money is in the non-reverting fund right now, Tyler?
Suzanne, by chance?
Just approximate. I don't know how much it's up to.
I think it's still over 2 million change. Could be wrong.
And, you know, if somebody's coming in asking for money and they gotta wait 1 week, if they're getting money, I don't think waiting 1 week is a hard thing to do, because the city council meets the week after.
I think council still has control, in my opinion. I go through the claims, and if there's one that I don't understand or don't agree with, then I'm gonna flag it, and we'll talk about it at a council meeting. I think the redevelopment board are all intelligent people and can make decisions on their own. Like I said, council still has to approve the claims, whatever the claims are. If redevelopment spends $1, council has to approve it anyway with the claims. So that extra step that we have slows things down, and some of these projects are time sensitive also. When you get a business that's that we're competing against Ohio and Kentucky, and they want to know the status of what's going on here in Indiana, that they've decided to come approach us, I think it's important that we let them know right away. That's my opinion.
Well, and you made some good points, Mel. The step of, and all three of you guys, the step of having, and this would take away that, so city council wouldn't approve the claim, redevelopment would approve
Well,
the claim.
and that's okay. They're still, and I think, having been the chairman for the past 7 months, I think we have an intelligent group.
And it's really not a matter of timing, waiting an extra week or two. That's not the issue. The issue is putting council in a place to approve or disapprove an action that redevelopment has already officially taken, which I don't believe that they can do. My position is that they can't.
I think we should, because it's the citizens' money, and we were elected to look over that money. That's a non-elected board. And don't get me wrong, I love redevelopment. I've been on it for a long time. I was chairman of it for 10 years. So it's not that I'm against that board, it's just it's a non-elected board, and I don't think they should be in control of that much money.
Yeah,
And there's about 2.6 mil.
Okay, yeah, the budget's one thing, Ben, but like the non-reverting has $2.6 million in it. Like Tony says, that's not an elected board. I was on it for years too, but.
Are we giving them control to spend the non-reverting, or just what's, the budget might now, don't forget, a lot of that's committed already. So
Half of it.
we have to resupply them, right, Kelly?
If they need more.
If they run out before the year's time, I mean, they would have to come back to us and resupply them. And I guess my point, Tony, is I'm all right with it, because I hope I'm trusting you and Mel like I hope you're trusting me and Mooch on Board of Works. So, from my perspective, I got faith in you guys to do the right thing. Now, I might not agree with you all the time, but, we've been talking, we having conversations about things, so I don't see the problem with it. I'm kind of in the same position here on Board of Works. I mean, I'm hoping that my decisions on Board of Works are influenced by everybody that wants to talk to me. If we're going to work like a team here, then there shouldn't be any decisions anybody's making without us all having conversation at some point.
Okay, but right now, the way it is, they don't have to ask city council for the regular budget, right? Because they approved about a $30,000 van for one company. That wasn't approved by the city, so why do we have to make the non-reverting fund the same way?
Well, and that's exactly, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, that's exactly why we're doing this, because we weren't able to pay the money for the van because of this language. And that's a great example, because that was vetted, 2 different meetings, you know, she presented, everyone asked questions, did an incredible job of getting to the core issues of why that money is necessary, voted, decided to dedicate those funds, but then we couldn't cut a check. It had to come back before council. Well, not all members of council were privy to those presentations.
I don't understand that. No, I don't understand that, because redevelopment has spent a lot of money, and it has never gone to council to okay that.
It has to go back to you. The claims are in your claims to approve, is what he was saying.
Okay, so that's the way the council.
It comes back to you guys, but.
No, it comes back to one person watching. Okay, no. I'm still on the same issue. If they want that money, they can wait another week. If I'm gonna give somebody $80,000, then by golly, I'll wait a week, if I'm gonna get it. And they're not an elected board, and they're not as answerable as we are. When redevelopment gives money away, I go out in the city and I get chewed out for some of it that they've done. You know, because I'm answerable. I was elected and I have to answer. A lot of the guys on the board, they just won't listen, because they don't have to answer to nobody except who put them on that board, be it the mayor or be it the council who put them on there. I think you need to be answerable to the citizens for the motions that you have made.
I think, Tony, that they are answerable to the citizens, because if someone...
They don't pick the phone up when they're called.
Yeah, I'll give them my phone number. I don't give a hoot.
That's because you're a councilman.
But if somebody comes up to that podium right there during a council meeting and says, Susie Snowflake is not a good redevelopment board member, and here's why, and they give reasons, then this council is going to take it very seriously and ask them to leave.
We can't. We didn't appoint them.
We can.
We didn't appoint them. No, we can't. They're appointed by the mayor.
We can tell him to ask them to leave.
No, we can do that.
There's 5 of us and 1 of him. We can handle that.
You can tag team him, I'm not. Well, this is all for opinions, guys. That's my opinion.
I don't care how you guys want to handle it. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I didn't ask for this. It came out because I think of the dry cleaning van, I think is where it came out of. But why have redevelopment?
Because they can send projects to us.
But why not just skip that
Just
stuff?
give it to council.
Do that.
I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, I just didn't, I never did understand that, but I mean, this came to light when the Trinity dry cleaner van, they were trying to cut a check and dealt, we can't cut a check because we couldn't, because the claim hadn't been approved.
But we have cut a check for all the other ones. We've given money. Redevelopment has given money out. They've given grant after grant after grant out.
To who?
So how come to any of them? Any of the grants that we've made so far?
We haven't run a check yet. We don't write the check until the end of the projects. We haven't wrote a check.
Not one check.
Not one. Isn't that right? I mean, have we written anything?
Not just for incidentals. I mean,
other than appraisals and things like that, right?
Yeah, so that didn't come to council except...
Yeah, it does, through the claims.
Through the claims.
Yeah.
Okay, so why couldn't they have paid that and done it through the claims?
Well, I think
What's the
they
difference?
end up doing, I think that's what it's going to happen. I think the
Yeah, there
claim
is
might
something
have
in these claims, I
Yeah.
believe. Their claim pack.
It's in there tonight.
There's something in there tonight.
The problem that would come up would be if someone who's on council but not redevelopment saw a claim and said, I don't want to approve that claim.
That's going to be me because, because I don't know what's going on. I see something in there for $2.6 million. Like, what is this? But redevelopment, I've already committed, like, we're going to do this, and then by the time council gets to approve it, if they deny it, you're looking at a lawsuit.
But see,
You know what I mean?
and
If
I
they
see
don't know
that,
anything about it.
And you shouldn't be stuck in that
No.
position.
I see that as a good thing, though, as being questioned.
But you have the benefit of being on both, so you know what's happening.
I'll
And
switch places.
Right. So, but it's not necessarily step, and the difference between redevelopment and council, it is nuanced, but redevelopment has an entirely different set of statutes. They're able to be more flexible with certain things that they do because their mandate is to create and effectuate an overall comprehensive plan for the redevelopment of the community. And so they are looking at things not piecemeal, but as a whole. And when they vet a project and approve a project, they've gone through all the steps necessary, and there are protections because they were appointed by the mayor, they are answerable, there are checks and balances. It's just that this half a sentence, one, is not necessary, and two, I think actually runs contrary to what the law would say.
So if we put $20 million in that non-reverting fund, they get to spend $20 million without even asking us.
But that would be up to you to do that. And
No, I'm only one vote, and I've been cut down on
I'm
one
talking about
vote.
council, though. Council would have to approve that, and I don't see that happening. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I think the reason it came to light was because of the van.
I mean, I don't agree with every move they've made so far either, but there's one thing I've noticed. It's a hard seat to sit in. There's tough decisions to be made, and I don't, if they're gonna put in all that thought, I don't know. I'd like any questioning that us councilmen have to do shouldn't be after the fact. We should be talking to the people if something comes up.
That's
We
what
should be working it out beforehand.
That's what I'm thinking. If there's any big projects, I'd hope that Tony or Mel or whoever's on that board would come to the rest of the council and talk to them about it.
And I feel like you guys have been coming to me, so I really, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with this.
Okay?
I'll second.
Okay, I got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, can I get a roll call, please?
For Tony Abbott,
Nay.
Member Aaron Cook,
Yay.
Member Mel Davis,
Aye.
Member Randy Abner,
Nay.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.,
Yes.
Okay.
And it's an ordinance, so we would do have to do a reading. Suzanne, do you have a number, or Tyler?
yeah,
We can't do it till next meeting, though. It's not unanimous.
12.
That's true. We can do first reading.
Oh,
Is that okay?
yeah, let's do first
Well,
reading.
Thank you, Tyler.
Do we have a number, you said?
Yeah.
What's the number?
12.
Okay.
12-2016.
All right. Can we get the first reading of ordinance 12-2016?
Thank you, Your Honor. The amended ordinance would read as follows. Ordinance number 12-2016, an amendment to ordinance 29-2013. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg has authority pursuant to its statutory and home rule powers to amend this ordinance, and whereas the Common Council now determines that the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission should have independent authority to approve spending from its previously authorized and appropriated budget funds and its non-reverting fund, now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg that an amendment be made to ordinance 29-2013 to read as follows. Parens, additions are in boldface type, and deletions are in strike-through face type. And parens, paragraph 1, the City of Lawrenceburg shall and does hereby establish a cumulative non-reverting redevelopment fund. 2, these funds shall be spent when necessary. 3, this fund shall be separate from and independent of the yearly riverboat budget. 4, this fund will be funded primarily by monies received from gaming revenues.
Okay. Won't be able to do the second reading until the next meeting, correct? All right.
Moved.
We can do it. Accept. We have a motion to accept first reading.
Yeah, I need a motion to accept the first reading of 12-2016 ordinance.
So moved.
Second. Did I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Roll call, please.
Member Tony Abbott,
Nay.
Member Aaron Cook,
Aye.
Member Mel Davis,
Aye.
Member Randy Abner,
Nay.
Member Paul Seymour Jr.,
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's all the new business I have. Anybody have anything else to add? Any old business? All right, comments from the audience? I thought you were reading it. What's that? You can. Well, you can still ask. Oh.
I
to
don't
have
have
the first reading.
Do I still ask my question?
Sure.
Was that not put in place as another?
safeguard.
Is that not put in place as another check and balance for the redevelopment, since they are appointed and not elected?
I have no idea.
that right?
It's a
Am I right?
safeguard. It's a safeguard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
I have no idea.
And you can't say that, if you tell somebody you're going to give them $400,000 and you come here and somebody decides against it, that there'd be a lawsuit, because all you have to put in there is the verbiage that it's pending approval by council, and that takes away everything, am I correct? I mean, I'm asking that question.
I mean, I think,
If you're on redevelopment and I come and ask you for $400,000 and you guys say, yep, not a problem, but it's all contingent on approval by council,
Yeah.
then I can't come back and sue you if council votes against it. So anytime you do that, if you wanted to keep this in place, all you would have to say is depending approval by council. That takes away any chance of a lawsuit by those people if council, they decide not to. Am I right?
that's one position to take, and I think that the discussion that you had today is what we've been having at redevelopment, a good, robust discussion with both sides of the issue and a vote, and I think both sides were presented very well.
I mean, you guys were talking about, like having to wait a week or so, but you just said not one check has been issued, so what's the difference in a week? If it's been months and no checks have been issued. That was my other question.
That's a good point. I agree.
I mean, I don't understand. And I think that the more checks and balances, the more transparency, and we've been promised transparency.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going to promise us something, give us what you promise us and make people responsible for what they're doing. You know what I mean? I understand that they're their own separate entity, but they're not elected by the citizens. They're not the people that the citizens answer to. They answer to you. So you're in turn going to answer to us.
Didn't you complain about micromanaging last administration?
Right.
I never complained once about micromanaging.
You're good at city council. You ought to run for it. You're a good city council person. You ought to run for it next
Well,
time.
let me just tell you something. I've seriously considered moving here just to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just asking because I want to know.
Yeah.
I really want to know. And there's other people that want to know too.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
We appreciate that, and transparency is a pillar of city council.
And it's just checks and balances, right?
Well, but what you're seeing is transparency. Transparency doesn't necessarily mean that you like the result. It means you're involved in it. You witness a robust discussion, which is what we've had here and what we've had consistently over the last 6 months. So I'm really happy with that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that there's not been or has been. That's not what I said. I said, that's what we've been promised. And with the checks and balances, having somebody else to answer to, sometimes it just makes it a little clearer on the issue, is what I'm saying.
It makes it more difficult because you can't make a decision. Like, I'm not on redevelopment, I'm on council, but I still, you don't want to micromanage everything. I mean, they have to be able to make a decision on their own. They can't be worried about, should we make a decision? Maybe it won't get approved by council, it's.
I don't think that they do that. I mean, they make their decision, and they just bring it to you guys for final approval, right?
There's been situations where it's come to the city council and the city council didn't approve it, especially with the event center. And then, like I said, it's a potential lawsuit because they've told people, yeah, we can do that.
Right.
And by the time it gets to city council, the majority of city council might not want to do that.
Right, but I mean, like I said, if you put in that clause at redevelopment, it's dependent upon a council's approval, then that takes care of any potential lawsuits.
And like Mel said, I believe city council can approves 3 people on redevelopment. Is that correct? 3 people?
Yeah.
That'd be a majority, so it'd be the same thing. And we can put 3 people on redevelopment if we don't like how they're operating.
So you guys can't actually ask them to step down?
Yeah.
Okay. Because see, I don't know, and I want to know. I mean, you can't make honest assumptions if you don't have facts.
Yeah, I believe council appoints 3, is it correct? 3, and that'd be the majority of the board. So, I mean, if council doesn't like how Mel's operating on there, they can ask him to step down and appoint someone else, or Tony, or one other person.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam. Anybody else? Pat?
Question with respect to the redevelopment. As I understand it, redevelopment is a body that's created. It's created by state statute, and it has specific capabilities that you as council do not have.
Right.
So if you were to have that language in there, that their decisions are subject to council, doesn't that in fact encumber the integrity of what the redevelopment is supposed to be? I mean, legally, couldn't you get in trouble for having that language in there if they're supposed to be an independent body? I mean, it sounds to me less a question of checks and balances and more a question of legalities. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Not
that's-
board in trouble, but yeah, I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Greg?
I think I'm right. I believe you already have the school endowment board. I think they give away millions and millions of dollars, and they don't have to have any approval. But again, you guys appoint them, some of the members. So it's been done, and that's just another example of it being done.
I think a big thing was said, Kelly appointed some people, and we gotta have a little trust in them. I'd never seen that for quite a while around here, and it's kinda, let's all put a smile on our face here and run this city, and let's let people do what they volunteered, and they're trying to make good decisions. That's how I feel about it.
Anyone else? Okay, good discussion. All right, I need a motion to approve the claims from tonight.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to adjourn. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
Having so much fun, I thought I'd...
5 minutes.
Yeah.
You gotta take off?
I gotta go to Louisville. No, tonight. Oh, okay. Hi, Lee. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Thank you. We're excited. We're excited. We really are.
Oh, yeah. And,
No, they wouldn't. They don't want